Right now, while you're worrying about how it's going to happen, God is already preparing the door, the opportunity, the breakthrough, and when the time is right, no devil in hell can keep it shut. So listen carefully. Stop worrying about what's behind you and get ready for what God is about to open ahead of you. You don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to beg for it. When God is the one ordering your steps, the right door will open at the right time. Today, I'm here to remind you that your future is in God's hands. And if you trust Him, you'll walk through doors you didn't even know were built for you. You may feel delayed, but you're not denied. There's a difference between a delay and a denial, and when you walk with God, you must learn to discern it. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. God's promises don't expire. His plans for you are not abandoned because of a temporary season of silence. Understand this: God's clock doesn't run on anxiety. It runs on destiny. It doesn't move faster because you're frustrated. It doesn't slow down because you're discouraged. It moves according to the divine orchestration of your purpose. God is not reacting to your situation. He's already authored your victory. You are not late. You are not forgotten. Heaven has not overlooked you. God has not changed His mind about you. When the door swings open, it will be exactly when you are ready. Not a moment too early, not a second too late. God is not just preparing the blessing for you, He is preparing you for the blessing. Because when God elevates you, He wants you to have the strength to stay there. He's building patience in you now because you'll need endurance for where you're going. He's building wisdom in you now because the next level will require it. He's teaching you how to trust Him now because greater battles and greater victories are on the horizon. If you trust His timing, you will step into blessings you didn't even have to manipulate to receive. You won't have to scheme for them. You won't have to force them. You won't have to beg for them. God's blessings chase the prepared. His favor finds the faithful. When the time is right, God will align the right people, the right opportunities, and the right moments in such a way that you'll know it wasn't by your might, it was by His Spirit. You will see that the doors He opens don't require you to compromise your integrity, sell your soul, or lower your standards. They will open because you trusted when it was hard to trust, you believed when it didn't make sense to believe, and you waited when everything in you wanted to run ahead. The enemy will whisper to you that you're missing out. He'll tell you you're behind. But let me remind you, you cannot be behind when you are walking in step with the one who holds time in His hands. You are right where you need to be. And if you stay faithful, if you stay ready, if you stay aligned, there will come a day when everything God spoke over your life will break forth like the dawn. The prayers you thought He didn't hear, He was bottling up. The tears you cried in secret, He was counting. The faith you showed in private, He was honoring. God's timing is not your timing, but it is perfect. And when you see what He was setting up behind the scenes, you'll realize the wait was not punishment. It was preparation for something bigger than you asked, better than you imagined, and more beautiful than you dreamed. When God opens a door, it is not subject to the opinions, approval, or validation of man. It is not fragile, it is not temporary, it is not vulnerable to the attacks of the enemy. When God decides to open a door for you, it is sealed with the authority of heaven, and no force on earth or hell beneath can revoke it. You don't have to strive for it, you don't have to manipulate your way into it, you don't have to scheme or plead with people to recognize your worth. When heaven has declared a door open over your life, it stands open by divine decree. And there is no competition that can intimidate it, no enemy that can block it, no circumstance that can undo it. Too many people exhaust themselves trying to maintain what God has already established. They waste their energy defending what God has already approved. But hear me today, if God has opened the door, you don't have to fight to keep it open. You don't have to water down your calling to make it acceptable to others. You don't have to minimize your anointing to fit into spaces that weren't designed for you anyway. You don't have to hustle for a seat at a table when God is preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Divine doors are not built on man's favor. They are built on God's covenant with you. They are sustained by His word, His will, and His unstoppable power. When God opens the door, it will defy logic. It will transcend qualifications. It will bypass systems and traditions that would normally limit you. People will look at you and wonder how you got there. They will scratch their heads because you don't fit the mold, you don't check the boxes. But what they don't realize is that you were not called according to their standards. You were called according to His purpose. Favor will carry you where credentials never could. Grace will usher you into places you didn't even apply for. Opportunity will chase you down when you position your heart to trust the God who opens doors no man can shut. And when that door swings open, you must walk through it with boldness, with faith, with the certainty that you are standing under the covering of God's promise. Do not tremble before people who think they can undo what God has already spoken. Do not shrink back because the opposition looks intimidating. No Pharaoh could hold back Moses. No giant could stop David. No pit could silence Joseph. When God's hand is on your life, even what was meant for evil will be turned into the very thing that propels you forward. Today I challenge you, stop worrying about who doesn't like you. Stop stressing over who doesn't support you. Their permission is not required for God's plan to unfold. Their doubt does not diminish your destiny. Their rejection only proves that the door you are about to walk through was never theirs to approve in the first place. What God has opened, no man can close. Trust Him, move forward, and watch how heaven makes a way where there seemed to be no way. Sometimes you cry over closed doors, but hear me, if God shuts it, it's because what's behind it can't carry your future. You see, we often mistake denial for defeat. We think that because something didn't work out, because the relationship ended, because the opportunity slipped away, that somehow we have failed. But I came to tell you today that some of the greatest gifts God will ever give you are the doors He did not allow you to walk through. Some jobs you thought you needed would have drained the life out of you. Some people you thought you couldn't live without would have sabotaged your destiny. Some dreams you tried to chase would have become nightmares if you had caught them. The God who sees the end from the beginning knows what you cannot see in your present moment. Closed doors are not rejection, they are redirection. They are God's way of saying, I have something better in mind. I have a future for you that is bigger than this. I have a plan for you that is greater than your imagination. You have to trust Him enough to praise Him even when the door slams in your face. You have to believe that when something ends, it's only because something greater is about to begin. Just because it's good doesn't mean it's God. Sometimes the enemy will offer you something good just to keep you from something great. That's why you must be discerning enough not to mourn over what God has already moved you away from. You may not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and thank God for every closed door. You'll thank Him for the no's, for the breakups, for the missed flights, for the unanswered prayers, because you'll realize that the door you cried over was never equipped to handle the weight of your calling. It was too small for the vision God planted inside of you. It was too shallow for the depth He was growing in you. God is too wise to let you settle, and He loves you too much to let you shrink yourself to fit into places He never designed for you. Closed doors protect you from what you didn't even know was dangerous. They shield you from settling for something beneath your worth. They prepare you to recognize the right door when it comes, so you don't miss your real season chasing a counterfeit one. If you're facing a closed door today, lift your head high, wipe your tears, stand firm. God is not finished with you. He's repositioning you. He's setting you up for a door so big, so blessed, so perfectly timed that you will forget you ever mourned over what you thought you lost. Trust Him. Trust the closed doors, because what He has ahead is far greater than what you left behind. Before God opens the door, He prepares you for it. He's not just working on the opportunity, He's working on your character. He's stretching your patience, your discipline, your faith, because a blessing received too soon can become a burden. Preparation is the proof that the door is coming. God is not a careless Father who will throw you into something that you are not ready to carry. He is strategic, intentional, and loving enough to delay what you are asking for until what is inside of you can sustain what He's about to give you. You may feel overlooked, you may feel forgotten, but in the mind of God, you are in process. And hear me, process is not punishment, it is protection. It is development. It is preparation for a promotion that will not destroy you once you step into it. The seasons of waiting, the times of stretching, the moments when you feel like nothing is happening, those are not wasted. They are divine investments into your future. Every challenge you endure is building your endurance. Every disappointment you survive is deepening your dependence on God. Every temptation you overcome is strengthening your spirit. Heaven is making sure that when the door opens, you don't walk in fragile, fearful, and unready. You will walk in fully prepared, fully equipped, fully fortified by the process you once tried to pray your way out of. You're not just waiting for the door. You're becoming the kind of person who can walk through it and handle the weight of the blessing on the other side. You must understand that premature promotion is dangerous. Receiving a blessing that your character cannot yet handle will crush you rather than elevate you. That's why you ought to thank God for every moment He said, "Not yet." That not yet wasn't cruelty, it was mercy. That not yet wasn't rejection, it was refinement. God is too faithful to give you the platform without giving you the power to stand on it. He's too wise to elevate you without anchoring you. He's too committed to your future to let you skip the seasons that prepare you to steward what's coming. So today, instead of despising the preparation, embrace it. Instead of cursing the waiting, bless it. Instead of questioning God's timing, trust it. You are not being overlooked. You are being equipped. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Every late night of prayer, every sacrifice that nobody saw, every act of obedience when it would have been easier to compromise, it's all working. It's all adding up. It's all stacking favor upon favor, so that when the door swings open, you will not shrink back. You will rise up. You will move forward with power and confidence, knowing that you are ready. Preparation always precedes promotion. And if God has you in a season of preparation, it's because He's getting ready to reveal a door that no man can shut. Get ready. Your preparation is proof that your promotion is closer than you think. Faith unlocks what fear cannot. Worry will paralyze you. Fear will cause you to settle for less, to shrink back when you were born to rise up. Fear will have you staring at closed doors until you convince yourself you're not worthy to knock. But faith will do what fear never could. Faith will lift your head when the world tries to bow it down. Faith will push you to knock even when you don't hear an answer yet. Faith will position you in front of doors that your resume, your background, your education, your bank account, and even your past mistakes could never open for you. Faith is the currency of heaven. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith doesn't wait for the door to swing wide open to start moving. It walks toward the door while it's still shut, believing that God is turning the handle on the other side. Faith is not passive. It's not sitting still and hoping something happens. Faith is aggressive. It is active. It is forward moving. It is bold enough to say, even if I don't see it yet, I know it's already happening. Faith sees what eyes cannot. Faith hears what ears have not heard. Faith touches what hands have not handled. Faith knows that God is too faithful to fail, too consistent to forget, too powerful to be defeated. Fear wants you to believe that you're stuck, that you're out of options, that it's too late. Fear wants you to believe the door is locked forever, but faith reminds you that when God is involved, even walls turn into doors, even impossibilities bow to divine intervention. Fear will tell you to wait until everything is perfect, but faith says move now. Fear says you don't have enough qualifications, but faith says you are already equipped with everything you need for where you're going. Fear says you're alone, but faith says if God be for you, who can be against you? Faith carries you when strength runs out. Faith speaks life when the situation looks dead. Faith builds bridges where fear only sees barriers. Faith that doesn't deny the facts, it just refuses to be limited by them. You cannot walk through the doors God is opening for you carrying fear in your heart. Fear will keep you outside, wondering, questioning, second-guessing. But faith will have you step into new realms with confidence, with authority, with peace. Faith will cause you to say, I may not have all the answers, but I know the one who holds the answers. Faith will cause you to plant your feet where others told you it was impossible to stand. Faith will have you looking at doors too big for you and still declaring, my God is bigger. This is the season where fear must bow and faith must rise. You are not going to miss your door. You are not going to be left behind. You are not going to be forgotten, but it will be your faith, not your fear, that positions you for what's next. Move forward, keep believing, keep knocking, because while you're moving in faith, God is moving in power. Some of you have been on your knees crying out for God to make a way. You have been pleading, fasting, seeking, asking God to open a door, to move on your behalf, to shift the season, to bring the breakthrough. And then when the door finally swings wide, when the opportunity finally presents itself, you pause, you hesitate, you question, you doubt whether you are ready, whether you are worthy, whether this is really God or just a coincidence. Let me tell you something today. When God opens the door, you don't stand there at the threshold looking back in fear. You walk through it boldly. You walk through it like a child who knows their father prepared the place for them. You walk through it like you know you belong in the rooms that used to intimidate you. You walk through it like you understand that favor is not something you earn. It's something God grants by grace. You cannot afford to waste time second-guessing the very thing you prayed for. When you prayed for it, you said, God, I trust you. So when the answer comes, trust him enough to step into it without apology, without shrinking, without hiding the light he put inside you. The opportunity you see in front of you is not an accident. It is not random. It is not luck. It is a direct manifestation of your faith at work. It is heaven's endorsement that says, you were faithful over little, now I will make you ruler over much. Every tear you cried, every silent battle you fought, every lonely night you endured was not wasted. God used it all to prepare you for the very door you now see before you. When you walk through it, walk with authority. Authority doesn't mean arrogance, it means awareness. Awareness that you have been chosen for such a time as this. Awareness that the same God who opened the door will be the God who sustains you inside it. Awareness that you are not there by accident, you are there by divine appointment. When you walk through it, walk with courage. Courage does not mean you will never feel fear. Courage means you choose to move forward in spite of it. Courage means that you recognize the shaking in your knees, but you move your feet anyway. Courage means that even when your voice trembles, you speak anyway, because you know that the one who calls you is greater than the fear trying to stop you. And don't just walk through the door silently. Walk through it with praise on your lips. Give God glory as you step into every new level. Let your gratitude go before you like a banner declaring, God did this, not me. Let your humility shine so brightly that even your enemies will have to admit this had to be the hand of the Lord. The doors you are about to walk through are bigger than your resume. They are beyond your network. They are greater than your qualifications. They are divine setups for a divine purpose. So when the door opens, don't question it, don't delay it, don't sabotage it. Walk through it boldly and claim everything God has prepared for you. Hear me. The delay is not the denial. The waiting is not wasted. While you are praying, God is preparing. While you are believing, God is building. Don't worry, don't panic, don't quit, because when God opens the right door, it will make sense why every wrong one had to stay shut. Get ready, your door is coming.